Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the second Maiden's tragedy, and we get to hear from the Tyrant King again today in Act 5, Scene 2, which is the final act of the play, and that also lets us know we've already had a lot of people die. Anselmus and his wife, and Votarius and Belarius and Leonella, they're all dead, so that plot line is kind of gone, and Gavianus is now sort of on his own to figure out how to get revenge on the Tyrant King for stealing Lady's body. So we're in the court, and yesterday we had the Tyrant King. He was like, I can't go this long without seeing her. So he has his guys come and bring her body into the court. And then he's like, well, where's that person? Where's that artist that we were going to get? And one of his servants brings in Gavianus, who is in disguise as an artist. And the Tyrant King is like, what is her face missing? And Gavianus, as this painter, is like, I can't tell. Like, wouldn't it make more sense for her to maybe be buried? And the Tyrant King is like, no. Like, I'm paying you, and you need to bring the life back to her face. So Gavianus very begrudgingly goes over and starts painting Lady's face, and he's like apologizing to her while he's doing it. He's like, we're gonna get you some rest. We'll get you out of here. And while he's painting her, he paints poison onto her lips. So while he's off painting her and trying to calm her spirit, which is actually no longer in her body, but he's talking to her body because it's there, the Tyrant King says, could I now send for one to renew heat within her bosom? That were a fine workman. I should but too much love him. But alas, 'tis as unpossible for living fire to take hold there, as for dead ashes to burn back again into those hard, tough bodies whence they fell. Life is removed from her now, as the warmth of the bright sun from us when it makes winter and kills with unkind coldness. So is't yonder. An everlasting frost hangs upon her now, and as in such a season men will force a heat into their bloods with exercise, in spite of extreme weather, so shall we, by art, force beauty on yon lady's face, though death sit frowning on it, a storm of hail to beat it off. Our pleasure shall prevail. So there's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster that happens here. He's like, somebody's going to make her look more alive. Now, if I could only find somebody that could actually revive her. And he's like, no, but that would be too much, because it is as impossible. He does actually use the word impossible, very much like Ralph Wiggum. It's as impossible to bring her back to life as it is to recreate an object that has been burnt to ashes, and he realizes that she is no longer alive. She is cold, and he likens her to the sun during the wintertime when nothing is growing because there isn't enough sunlight around and all of that. And he's like, you know what? People still exercise in the winter. They force themselves to be happy and to stay warm, so I'm going to force the life back onto her face. What I want is the important thing here. So Gavianus turns around and he's like, okay, what do you think? And he's like, oh my gosh, doesn't she look alive? Doesn't she look alive? And Gavianus is like, not really? And the Tyrant King's like, no, I can almost feel it. I can almost feel her getting warmer. And oh, my lady, oh, my love. He goes over and he's talking to her and he kisses her. And he's like, something over here smells a little weird. And Gavianus is like, well, maybe that's the paint that I used. And the Tyrant King is like, is it old paint or what's going on? And he's like, well, it was the best poison that I could buy. And we're going to hear the monologue response to that tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Mwah.